Hey guys, this is Loony and welcome to yet another episode of my Loony hardcore adventure. Today we are starting our preparations for the adventure at the brewing stand. We made a bunch of potions for the dragon fight, but now we need something different. Today we are gonna move to our new base location, and I've been dropping a few hints about what it is. To start the series off, we're gonna capture an ocean monument. And in order to do that as safely as possible, we have to be underwater for a long while. So we're making a bunch of water breathing potions here, which we need pufferfish for to do it. And pufferfish you can get from fishing pretty easily. So I built a tiny AFK fish farm inside the house, which I used for, I think, just about 20 minutes. And it gave us a few pufferfish that we're using now to make the potions we need for this adventure. So when we were going out to find the stronghold, we actually passed an ocean biome. It was pretty close to the sea. So after I got the elytra, I went back there. I flew around a little bit because I always wanted to start this series at an ocean monument. And we got kind of lucky because we found one that was really close to where the stronghold is. And I think it was like 1,000 blocks away, which is really not that bad. Here to the left is our horse and the ship that we found on the way to the stronghold. And then when we just keep flying, we go over this spruce forest. And a few hundred blocks further along, here we find some more ocean. The thing I'm looking for that I didn't see yet is a big coral reef, because coral blocks have the nicest colors. They are so bright and vivid, and I just love it. I'm actually pulling up my F3 here. This is a lukewarm ocean, so there is a pretty big chance that I can find a coral reef here, but I would have to go down and explore a little bit more. Now, we are going to just keep flying for a little while, and then we're gonna go get to a deep ocean, and in the deep ocean we will find the monument that we're looking for. We see underwater ruin right here, and it's just behind. We see more light, and there it is. This is going to be where we set up camp. It actually has a dark oak forest right next to it, which I like because dark oak forests are a great place to get lots of wood, and wood is so important for so many things right now, so this is a really great place. Now the thing we're going to do here is we are just going to dive in and try to make a box. And this box is meant to keep the guardians from hitting us because they do so much damage. Okay, now we're gonna put a roof on it. Just close this box off. And now we are gonna mine down. And this is exactly as planned. I know that I'm gonna get the mining fatigue here, but I have an efficiency 5 pickaxe, so I realize I should be fine. But also, I made a huge mistake here. And for just a split second, I thought it was gonna get really bad. Because when I was finishing out my gear, I got just about everything I needed, but I didn't get aqua affinity on my helmet. Which means that my mining speed is so much slower than it should be. And also, I didn't bring a light source block with me. So we're mining in the dark and I have no idea how much the block is breaking. So what I ended up doing is looking at my screen kind of sideways so that I could see every particle that stood out from every other particle. And it was intense because I have the water breathing potion. And one water breathing potion will keep me alive and with oxygen for 8 minutes. Now 8 minutes is a very, very long time, so I figured it should be enough to mine through this block. But I have no feedback mechanism here, I can't see anything. Good thing is that I did get my depth strider, and I'm standing on top of this block right now, which means that my mining speed is a little bit higher than it would be when I was swimming in water, but this was a bit of a nerve-wracking situation because it would have been the worst way to die. Just lock yourself in underwater have no way to mine through and just get very, very unlucky. But eventually we managed to mine our way through this block very awkwardly. But when we did, we ended up right on top of this Elder Guardian, which was the plan. If you know where they are located, and I'll pull up a screenshot of the Ocean Monument to show you, it's these 1, 2, 3 locations, and they're always here in the same place. So this strategy of just building a box on top of the Elder Guardian and going in to only finish the Elder Guardian, it works pretty well, and it's a safe way to do it, I think. When I finally found this guy, I decided to go ham and just smash him with my sword, which means that I'm gonna take some damage from his spikes as well, because he has a thorns effect. But there was not a single guardian in the room except for the elder one, so it was pretty safe. And I got down to about 5 hearts. I decided to heal a little bit in case something unexpected would happen. And then when we finally finished the guardian, it went pretty quick, to be honest. We had to solve a problem because we are now stuck in the Ocean Monument with limited access to water breathing potions, and we have no aqua affinity. We are mining as slow as can be. So before I want to kill the other 2 Elder Guardians, I decided to just get out of here, go to my Enderman grinder, get some levels, and fix my helmet with aqua affinity, because I could manage this way. I could swim through the monument to get rid of the Elder Guardians, but right now, as long as we don't have aqua affinity, there is time pressure here. There is a situation thinkable where I'm running out of water breathing potions, and still I have no way to get up. I have mining fatigue. I can't get through the Ocean Monument, and I'm gonna die, because I also have no means of creating an air pocket in my inventory, because I don't really need it. But what I'm saying here is there is no failsafe, and if we're playing hardcore Minecraft, we want to have a failsafe at all times. We want to have a way to resolve the situation we're in and get out alive, because right now our priority is not to clear the monument, it is to survive and clear the monument. So we went to the end, slashed away at some Endermen, which was again very, very noisy, but it works so well for the experience right now. Then we made another diamond helmet, and we cycled through enchantments until we found the one that we needed. This one is not alright, so we're gonna use the grindstone to get rid of it, and we'll try again. See what it gets. Nope. Put it on the grindstone, take it out, try again. Level 30, fingers crossed, and there it was, aqua affinity. So we took this, combined it with the helmet we already had, and then we went back to the monument. And when approaching the monument and getting ready to dive in there again, I realized that I might not be as prepared as I want to be, so I just circled back to this tiny island just to make sure that everything was in the place where it should be. And I can't stress this enough, we are playing this better safe than sorry. So if I have to take a few more minutes to prepare, I will. We got the blocks in our inventory which we needed, drank the water breathing potions, and then dove into the sea while changing our elytra for a diamond chest plate, which will give us a lot more protection from any hits that the Elder Guardians will inflict on us. Now we're going to the corner of this monument here, and we're gonna block ourselves in again, making sure to break line of sight with the Guardians as soon as possible, because they have to charge their beam attack for a little while. And if you can block their line of sight, then they don't get a chance to shoot you, and you have a few seconds to do this. Now we're building up a tower all the way to the surface so that we have a point of easy access, because maybe we need to go in this monument a few more times with Guardians trying to hit us. And also we're gonna drain the inside soon, which will mean that there are more Guardian spawns outside. So being outside in the water is gonna get very, very dangerous. And even if we don't die there, it will burn us through a lot of food. So we just want to make sure that we have a safe way to enter the monument, and that's what we're building now. Once we finished that, we went straight back down again, because we are going in for the second Elder Guardian. Let's make sure that our health is full, that we have our food bar full so that we heal when we get hit. And now we're gonna mine down again, doing the same thing as before, but it's gonna take about 1/3 of the time because of our Aqua Affinity helmet. So everything is a lot safer now and we have a lot more margin for error. But once we broke down through the ceiling, this Guardian fight is gonna be harder than the one before, because now there could potentially be a lot of Guardians in this room. I see the Elder Guardian and at least one other Guardian, so it seems like it's not too busy, but we want to be careful anyway. So I'm putting my potion of healing next to my sword. We have some blocks in our inventory, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit this Elder Guardian, and every time after we get in a hit, we're gonna swim around one of these pillars. And this will allow us to break line of sight with the Guardians, which means that they won't be able to hit us with their beam attack. And you can see these beams charging up. They start at a dark blue-purple color, then they go through orange and then to yellow, and when they're very bright they finally hit you. You also hear a sound cue, the pitch gets higher, and you learn to recognize this after a few hits, which we don't want the hits, but trial and error, you learn this way. So after we get this Guardian out of the way, nice, now we have to swim around to the other side of the monument, or we can go back upstairs, but let's just see if we have easy access. And we saw the Guardian locations before. This one is going to be at the other side of the monument. To our left here is the main treasure room, but if we go all this way around, we have a good chance of finding this Guardian as well, and we already see him in the distance. Now let's see how busy this room is. We got one lonely Guardian here in the hall. Let's just get rid of him, because then we have a lot of free space behind us. In case anything goes wrong, we have a way to run away. And this, once again, is about fail-safing. Our fail-safe, if things go wrong here, is swim around the corner and get away from Guardian line of sight. So let's see what kind of room we have here. There's 2 Guardians. Let's get rid of these as well. And what we're trying to do is to fight one Guardian at a time, which makes it much easier. Is this the room where the Elder Guardian? Yes. This is actually very nice. We have this big pillar in the middle, and it's quite a small room. Small rooms help us, because small rooms have easier access to hiding places, which means that I don't have to swim very far to get behind this pillar. And I can just get a hit in. Let's try to get a bit more damage going, because there's no other Guardian here. But I don't want to go below 50% of my health. So I'm just gonna drink a potion of healing here, make sure that my food is full, and go again. And I might use this potion earlier than necessary, but because this is hardcore, we are playing by different standards. A full health bar is much preferable to an empty one or partially empty one, and we don't care so much about the efficiency of our potions. We don't want to have maximum use, we just want to survive, and the price is fairly irrelevant. We just have to make sure that we have some healing left, so we don't use it for a regular zombie hit. But if I am in a dangerous location like now, I just want to stay at full health as much as possible. Okay, what we're doing now is just killing time basically, because we still have mining fatigue and we want to find some sponges here, because sponges are the next step. But we have 3 minutes 20 to wait out. So I'm just going to refresh my water breathing potion and wait for the mining fatigue effect to pass. We could do this by drinking a bottle of milk, but it would also clear our water breathing. So I decided I don't really care. I'm just gonna wait for the effect to wear out, because I have plenty of water breathing potions with me, and it's gonna be fine without any milk. We don't have to take a risk by cancelling our potion effect. We went back to base to get some essentials. I found some lava buckets and a few furnaces, which will allow us to dry out the sponges after we use them, because we are going to set up a little base inside the monument and we need to remove a lot of water block sources for this. When we went back to the monument, I tried getting in through this little tube here, and we got pinned down by guardians because I'm trying to get down here and it didn't work. And this moment shows you how dangerous these guardians actually are, because they blew me down to 3 hearts here. 1.5 hearts per guardian hit. So I managed to jump up and just fly away here, but it was a bit of a tricky moment. So I decided I have to be a bit more careful here and probably not go in the water with my elytra on. That was most likely the mistake I made. And also this platform at the top might be a little too small because I have no cover at all. If a guardian hits me off the edge of this pillar, it can be very hard for me to get back up and squeeze this in this 1 block hole. So what we did here is go to the other one, which was a bit more isolated, and then we went down here to set up our base. And what we want to do first is to create a little air pocket, which can be our place to work from. We need to put some furnaces down and some storage so we can dry out the sponges and save the blocks that we're gonna mine. Now, water source blocks, we'll try to create more water source blocks if an empty block is connected to at 2 sides to water sources. So what we want to do is to prevent a situation from this like this from happening, and it means that we have to clear out the corners first, because the corners will start autofilling the rest of the room. And we managed to create a tiny space that was water free here, so we set up base and we started slowly draining room after room of the monument. So most of the remainder of this session was just putting down sponges, getting rid of water, mining the wet sponges, putting them in the furnace, rinse and repeat. Next episode, we're gonna try to drain the entire monument and then set up a nether portal and connect it to a portal in the overworld in the right place. So we want to be able to travel quickly between our current house and this ocean monument. Soon enough, we're gonna make this monument our house, but we're gonna have to travel back and forth for our stuff quite a bit. While we were draining this monument, I was actually lighting up the entire place because I really didn't want to have mob spawns and specifically creepers in here, because they would create a total mess and it would be way too risky. But after a little while of draining, I realized that there were beds in here but no mobs were spawning. So I went online to investigate, and it turns out that within the ocean monument, no overworld mob can spawn except for guardians and the bats, but the bats are harmless, so this is an incredibly safe space for a base. It's gonna serve us well in the long run. Well, guys, I would like to thank you so much for watching yet another episode, and next episode we will get rid of all the water in this place. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.